All right, so Thursday was a big win for Americans. Because as you know, Thursday, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 against the Biden OSHA vaccine mandate in a big win for American workers and business in America. But of course, President Joe Biden said that he was disappointed that the Supreme Court ruled against his coronavirus vaccine mandate for business. Quote, "I'm disappointed that the Supreme Court has chosen to block common sense, life-saving requirements for employees at large businesses that were grounded squarely in both science and the law." Well, the big problem there, Mr. Resident, is that it wasn't squarely based in the Constitution. Americans have rights. I know you don't like that. I know that everyone in Washington, D.C. looks down on us like slaves, that we should just do whatever they say because they are the big brains and we are just the peons. But I'm sorry, our forefathers saw to it that we have rights, that we have a document that protects those rights, and that we have a Supreme Court that most of the time stands up for our rights. But not even the Supreme Court can stop President Biden from pushing his fascistic vaccine narratives. As soon after the decision was made, Biden told state governments and private business to enforce the mandates anyway. Quote, "The court has ruled that my administration cannot use the authority granted to it by Congress to require this measure. But that does not stop me from using my voice as president to advocate for employers to do the right thing to protect Americans' health and economy." Now, look, my personal opinion is that most employers will not force vaccines or testing on their employees. A, because testing costs money and most businesses won't want to absorb the cost. B, businesses are already struggling to keep the doors open due to lack of staff, and constant testing would only further exacerbate that issue. I mean, I don't know if you've seen around you, but around me, I have seen parts of businesses close down due to the fact that people are out for their 5 or 10 days because they tested positive. So the business cannot run at full steam. Like, let's take restaurants around here. They will close down the dining area inside, but keep the drive-thru open because they just don't have enough people to run the dining area. That loses them money. Because I can tell you right now, if I drive by a restaurant and I want to sit down and eat, and all they have is the drive-thru, I'm going to keep going. So this is just another spot where businesses would lose money over the vaccine garbage. And C, my third reason really, is that companies could be held responsible for vaccine injuries after forcing employees to get the shot without the cover of a federal mandate. So I think it's safe to say that Biden lost this battle, and it was a huge win for Americans and business alike. But unfortunately, the court gave us what I would call a split decision of sorts and upheld Biden's vaccine mandate for medical workers. Now, this one makes me angry because I used to work in the medical field a long time ago, and I cannot believe that we would get rid of trained, dedicated nurses and doctors simply for not submitting to an experimental, irreversible vaccine. That doesn't make any sense. Being part of the medical profession takes years and years of training, and then after the training's over, it takes years and years to learn how to apply your craft properly, to make people feel comfortable, to do the job of helping people when they are sick. But the Biden administration says, screw that. We're going to get rid of you if you don't take a shot. Now, the decision of the CMS medical mandate was a 5-4 decision as Chief Justice Roberts and Justice Kavanaugh joined the 3 Democrat justices in siding with the Biden administration. Now, while this wasn't really a surprise ruling, I do find it a bit out of touch with the realities of our current situation. See, the Supreme Court just ruled that healthcare workers must get vaccinated or be fired at a time when hospitals are telling COVID positive nurses and doctors to continue working. We have seen article after article talking about people that right now have tested positive for COVID, but are still being told to return to work at the hospitals because they don't have enough staff. So I'm guessing what the government's message here is it's safer for patients to get COVID from infected nurses who are vaccinated than it is to get infected with COVID by nurses who weren't vaccinated. Well, that doesn't make any sense on two levels. One, the vaccine didn't work and the vaccinated nurses and doctors are still getting the virus. And B, people that are in the hospital because they're already sick. They're already hurt. Something's already wrong. But you're going to say it's fine for someone infected with what's probably the Omicron variant, which is the most spreadable variant of this disease. You're going to be fine with them working around sick people that are already scared or already fearing for their lives. Nothing about the COVID response from the federal government has ever made sense. Luckily, on Thursday, we had one big win that spares a majority of Americans from this madness. But the medical workers having to be submitted to this vaccine, once again, it doesn't make any sense. This is a war. It is a war for our freedoms, it's a war for our country, and it's a war for our way of life. We just won one huge battle. We've got to keep fighting. We've got to keep positive, and we've got to keep pushing ahead. Biden and the Democrats and the deep state are starting to lose. We are starting to see things go our way. We have to keep fighting. We can't give up because, well, America's future depends on it. Well, guys, that's all I say about that. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Give the channel a subscribe. If you got anything to say, hit me down in the comments below. As I always like to keep the conversation going. Y'all have a great day. Stay safe out there. I am